Heroes Like Us is a series intended at sharing comic book characters from various backgrounds and identities. We won't always get everything right, so feel free to make amendments and corrections in the comments. They're always appreciated. What's not appreciated, however, is any form of hate speech or intolerance, so comments of that nature will be immediately deleted and those users blocked from this channel. This is a place of education and celebration. Welcome to Heroes Like Us, and today we are talking about comic book characters that are also Muslim. You would think this is a pretty small list, and it is, but we've got 5 that we're going to talk about today that are super interesting. I do want to apologize right now that my pronunciation on some of these names is probably going to be incorrect, but know that it's coming from a good place, and feel free to correct pronunciation down in the comments. Let's dive into it. Our first character is a Marvel Comics character who goes by the name Dust. She is a mutant who is also Muslim and wears kind of the full garb. And her abilities are to create and turn into sand. So this could either be appearing like a person but made of sand, or this kind of large, intangible sandstorm-like thing. Her real name is Surya Kadir, and she's from Afghanistan. And interestingly, they do weave her religion in to stories. That there's been a couple arcs about people questioning why she wears the full garb, and she defends it. And there was also one arc where someone asked her to renounce her faith to follow them, and she refused to do so. They've shown her praying multiple times, usually before like a big battle, and so they do kind of weave it seamlessly into the stories that she is part of. Up next, we have another Marvel character named Faiza Hussain, and she is Pakistani, but she is by nationality British. She was in an accident, basically, that gave her the ability to break things into pieces, that she can take something and break it into its parts. And this means she can also do that with people. And so she can basically do on-the-spot surgery on people by kind of breaking them apart and then putting them back together without harming them. So she's kind of this medic-like character that can heal people and work on people out in the field. There is another character in Britain named Captain Britain, and he used to use the sword Excalibur as a weapon. He passed on Excalibur to Faiza, who now uses that as her offensive weapon in addition to her healing abilities. Up next, we have a DC character named Simon Baz. He is Lebanese, Muslim, and also a Green Lantern. Most of his recent story arcs revolve around learning how to be a Green Lantern, and kind of practicing those skills, and he's actually become a mentor to a newer Green Lantern and the only female Earthling Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz. He has most of the same abilities, so constructs, things like that, but he also can tap into something that most Green Lanterns can't do, and that is basically to glimpse the future. Crazy, right? Before he became a Green Lantern, his origin story really has a lot to do with kind of a post-9/11 America and Islamophobia and people assuming he's a terrorist, and he has to defend his friends and family and kind of learns to fight and protect himself that way before the Ring kind of seeks him out as a new Green Lantern. All right, our next character is a Marvel character named Justice. Now this origin is a little confusing. So way back in World War II, they wanted to copy the Captain America Super Soldier Serum, so they tested it on all of these black men back in the day. And one of them kind of went to go fight against Hitler, stole a version of Captain America's shield and his outfit, went to war. He was arrested for 17 years before they let him out. He has a son who genetically inherited some of the super soldier powers. So now we have this guy by the name of Josiah al-Hajj Siddiq. And that is his new name that he has taken on himself. We don't know what his name before that is. So Josiah, super strong, fast, kind of peak human everything. In addition to, he now uses that same shield that his father stole as a weapon. So he looks kind of like Captain America, but he's a black man, and he has the name Justice. He was not raised Muslim, but he actually converted, made the pilgrimage to Mecca, and even founded a mosque in Brooklyn and is now a minister there. And I apologize if minister is the wrong word. And that's really the last time we saw him, was at this mosque serving there. so it's assumed he's still doing that. Lastly, we have probably the most popular Muslim character in comic books, and when she was created, it created this huge splash in the news. Everyone was talking about it, and this is Marvel's Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. So she was only introduced in 2013, but they introduced her as a replacement to the previous Miss Marvel who became Captain Marvel. And Kamala Khan is this young girl who finds out that she is an Inhuman, which means kind of there was this big accident, and people that had these traits, kind of they didn't know that they were Inhumans. All of a sudden these powers started to manifest, and her power is to stretch and elongate and kind of grow some of her body parts in different sizes so she can grow a fist, punch someone, super malleable. She's Pakistani by descent, but her stories with her family and about religion and about her kind of conservative parents, there's been some really interesting stories about growing up in that situation and also being a superhero. So there's a lot of cool layers, and it's one of the reasons that Miss Marvel has gotten to be so popular and almost universally loved. So those are just 5 examples of Muslim characters that I could find. If there's other popular characters that you want to point out, you want to talk about, let me know in the comments. And hopefully this was interesting, useful. Hopefully some of you out there were able to think, those are heroes like me. So hopefully this helped. And if we have enough, more Muslim heroes or heroines that we want to talk about, hopefully we see a part 2. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.